Hey everybody, welcome to another video review. This is a very special piece. I've had this for, I think, well over a decade. No, not a decade, close. This was done for me in 2012, so 8 years. This is a boss relief. It's a very unique type of collectible. It's the only one I have in my collection. You have to obviously have a special way of displaying, almost like a plate. And so it's like this three-dimensional work of art. It's meant to be hung on the wall, actually, but I've never felt comfortable doing that. This is earthquake country after all, and it's a little bit unsettling. The last 2 days in a row, at night at least, we've had tremors, and yesterday was a pretty significant one. It was enough to actually shake me awake. So I don't feel super comfortable hanging it up. This is made out of resin, but this is a sculptural representation of a work of art called Tattoo, and this was painted by Boris Vallejo, who is a very, very famous fantasy illustrator, and I wanted to compare the two. So this is the actual painting by Boris Vallejo. And Boris is known for painting just very beautiful, sumptuous, sort of fantasy art, women, especially voluptuous women. He did quite a bit for Conan the Barbarian, for instance. And so you can see kind of the beautiful shading, and then the sort of the conceit of this painting. I don't know why the guy's got chains and all this other stuff, but number one, it is a very beautifully drawn male body, very muscular, lean, and then of course the fantasy element is the tattoo. You can see it coming alive, and then literally biting him. So this is just a very striking image. It was definitely one of my favorite pieces by Boris when I was younger. It's just a very, very beautiful, striking work of art. And so at one point, the garage kit industry, or the garage kit hobby, one of the beautiful things about the garage kit hobby is that you could sculpt, say, almost anything. Anything that catches your fancy, you can sculpt it, mold it, cast maybe 10, 15, 20 pieces, and some other collectors will get it, and they'll customize it, they'll paint it. And so a gentleman named Steve West, who is an amazing sculptor, and I have quite a few of his pieces. He never went mainstream, like a lot of these talented sculptors are now working in 3D. They're working in computers, and they're now working for big companies like X and Sideshow. But that kind of passed Steve by, which is a little bit of a shame, because he is as talented as they come. And Steve West did a lot of amazing kits, amazing work, and he did quite a series of sculpts based on the artwork of Boris Vallejo. And I'm going to be reviewing a lot of those since I do have them. And so he sculpted this magnificent three-dimensional representation of Tattoo. I'm going here a little bit closer. You can actually see the detail. And it's just like stunning how he brought this to life. So you kind of have to go on the side to basically appreciate it. So you can kind of see, this is all, by the way, a relief is coming out. And then you can see the clothes sort of being shredded, just like the original painting, right? The t-shirt is being torn. You can see the jeans, and then of course the chain here. This part here is actually a real chain, and then all of this is real chain wrapped around the fist. And you can see the vein work. In terms of just the sculpt itself, it's just crazy, because when you compare the two, it just looks so good, right? Just amazing. And so this kit is like an older kit, and by the time I got into the hobby, this was long basically sold out. And so those were the days where you still had a chance, and it was a small enough world. it would be impossible in today's world, I think. But back then, it was a small enough world that I was able to actually find Steve West's contact information. I went on the forums, I asked around, some very friendly, people in the garage kit, sort of the garage kit hobby pointed me in the right direction. And I actually, believe it or not, got a phone number. I don't think Steve West had a cell phone. I think I initially contacted his wife through email, and then I left a message. She gave me actually their home phone number, and there literally was like a voice, I left a voice recording on their answering machine, and I think I paid. I don't know how exactly I paid her. I might have mailed her a check or something, but I paid, and then in about, I think, I would guess no more than 4 to 5 weeks, maybe less, Steve had cast a version, very nice, clean casting, and had mailed it to me. So I was really over the moon happy that I got this. Now, once you get it, of course, you want to paint it up. So who was going to be the person to do this piece justice? Well, who else but John Allred? So John, he's now very famous, of course, in the statue community. A lot of people go to him. He opens up his painting schedule, and it gets filled up usually within a few hours. But John Allred at that time, I've been working with him for such a long time, and he had a lot of he actually, I think, started with painting like canvas, painting just like regular art, not statues. And so he really took advantage of this project, and he told me he enjoyed it very much. But he just did a stunning job bringing Boris Vallejo and Steve West, Boris Vallejo, Steve West sculpture to life. Look at what he did in painting the dragon, and then coming all the way out, that sort of demarcation where the dragon comes out of the tattoo, becomes real, and then bites the flesh. You can actually even see the flesh being puckered up as the jaws of the dragon actually close on it, and then the blood dripping down. I mean, that's the sculpt. So again, this is just so true to the Boris Vallejo's control art that it's just amazing. And then, of course, all the subtle shading, all the background, the way that John brought the jeans and the detail of the jeans to life, the belt, the ripped shirt. Like, you literally, if you go back, you literally don't know where the painting stops and the actual statue or sculpture begins. So this is super rare. I'll be honest with you, I've never seen a painted version of this. I'm sure they exist, but it's lost in the mists of time. I mean, this was around maybe 15, 20 years ago. I'm sure if you went to Wonderfest, there's got to be a couple of old photos, but this wasn't, like I said, a very common kit to begin with. And as far as I know, I mean, mine is the only version I've ever seen painted up, and it's just really, really unique. So I think it's a beautiful work of art. I've had it in my collection all this time. I display it like this, and I'm super happy with it. Again, the control art, the source art by Boris Vallejo was so stunning, and then for Steve West to have done such a phenomenal job bringing it to life in 3D form, and then for John Allred to paint it, this was just one of my truly personal individual grails. And I just wanted to take the opportunity to share that with you, because this is something, again, that you will never really see. So there you go. I mean, if you want to take a look at how thin or thick it is, you can take a look here. Here's the back. This is John Allred, and he signed it, initialed it, and it was done, as you can see, December 2012, so almost 8 years ago. And then this is the name, Tattoo, by Boris Vallejo, sculpted by Steve West, and his studio, Enchanted Arts. This is a long time ago. So once again, Tattoo. I hope you enjoyed that, and I will talk to you next time. And until then, do take care.